let me ask you a quick question. Now, it's probably again very different operators and deals and all of that. But um, part of what's going on with these, what I'm calling financial engineers who are blowing up left and right, is they are good talkers or good marketers. They probably know that that's the message that the LPs want to hear. I am guessing. So if you're an LP, do you get a look at the balance sheet or the cash reserves
So
or what?
that's where I was going with this,
Oh,
right?
cool. Okay.
Yeah. So the second reason that they might be doing it, however, is because their operations are really screwed, right?
Hmm.
Or they're they're not making their debt service or whatever, right? So you want to kind of dig into this a little further and you want to have a look at the operating statements. Now, some operators send them out every month. Like when
Oh,
I sponsor my deals, I forward, the operating statements, right? So, but some people don't. Some people say, I mean, you're allowed to get them, right? If an operator tells you you can't see them, that's a
that's a
big red,
problem.
right? Because you should be able to see them. It's they have a fiduciary duty
Hmm.
of providing information. So if
So
they
that's
tell
that's probably a good question then, because I'm envisioning financial engineers under an increasing level of stress. They've already had the email out about stopping distribution. It's got to, they tried to squirt it with enough perfume to make bullshit smell good.
yeah.
Now if we help people understand to go poke at the operating statement, if they can't get them monthly, I got to imagine they could get them quarterly. And
Well, they ought to be getting something. I mean, the fact of the matter is that you have the right to get this information unless your deal documents specifically say that you can't get it. And like I can't imagine anybody putting that in their deal documents. It just wouldn't pass the
wouldn't
sniff
be,
test. And anybody who had their lawyer read it would say don't invest in this. But who knows? Like who knows what's going on out there?
yeah,
There may be deal documents out there that say you're
it
not
was
allowed.
so hot that they got anything past mustard, right?
That's what
When
happens.
risk is
That's what
zero.
happens in a
Yeah.
bubble, right? People will literally
Do
agree
silly
to anything,
things. Yeah.
right? So, but anyway, so here's what you want to look for, right? You want to look at the operating statement and the balance sheet, and you want to look for two things. On the operating statement, you want to be looking at whether the deal is making a profit on an operating basis, right? So you want to make sure that there's positive NOI, right? That's the first thing. That tells you that, well, they're at least operating at a profit. The next thing is you want to make sure that they're meeting the debt service, right? So sometimes that's included on the operating statement, sometimes not. It should be on the ones that you're looking at, but it's a little bit tricky when you look at it because oftentimes with GAAP accounting, that only the interest is reported, not the whole
Right.
debt, right? So it looks like, hey, we're making a big profit here, but hey, where's my money, right? So you need to ask them, essentially. So you see profit, that's good. You see interest payment being made, that's good. But if you can't tell how much the total debt service is, ask them and just
Yeah.
make sure that the debt service is being covered, right?
Yeah.
So, as long as the debt, I mean, frankly, like nobody wants to hear that they're not getting distributions or they're not going to make a profit. But at the end of the day, like the worst case scenario is debt service is not being covered. So if the debt
Right.
service is being covered, like, okay, you can survive, right? You can just run this string out until things get
Yeah. Delay, right? You're buying time.
right. So and as long as you're making your debt service, you can buy time. All right.
Okay.
That's the important thing to remember. Maybe you're not going to make as much money as you'd hoped, but you should be fine. Then the other thing is you want to see is you want to look at the balance sheet
Hmm.
and you want to see that cash balance building up. If they're telling you we're doing this to preserve cash, well then you want to see the cash building
Yeah,
up on the balance
exactly.
sheet, right?
Yeah.